So what is the difference between a fear, phobia, and anxiety? Well, a lot of people use the word interchangeably. So they often mean a phobia when they say fear, or they mean fear when they mean a phobia. A fear is a response to danger. Now, most commonly, it's proportional. If there's a snake in the room and you don't know anything about snakes, it's sensible to move away from it. That is a normal fear response. However, completely freezing up every time you see a photo of one is a phobic response. So generally, fears are proportional. Phobias are a complete reaction where your body just sees that thing, goes into reaction, or thinks about that thing and goes into reaction. So generally, a fear is also something you can do but you dislike. So a fear might be, oh, I don't like it, but I'll face it, I'll do it. A phobia technically is see, react, completely freeze, fight, or flee. And so it's an instant reaction, and normally a phobia is a disproportional response. So it's a fear response to something that isn't statistically dangerous. Then you come on to anxiety. Now, often people with anxiety often create a lot of phobias. A phobia tends to be a very specific event. Anxiety tends to be brought about by a prolonged period of fear. So stress at home or work or something like that. And so with anxiety, you often end up with a lot of anticipation of the future, which is why step 7 comes in. And there's often a strong secondary gain with it. Anxiety tends to be more future-based, and it tends to be from a long period of not feeling safe. And so with the conditioning that I talked about earlier, instead of seeing a snake being scared, seeing a height being scared, it's more likely that you didn't feel safe for a long period of time. So then your fight, flight, or freeze has become overclocked, and your view of the world is dangerous. Anything out my comfort zone is linked to a fear response. Now, stress is similar to anxiety, and it's often used in corporate world because somehow if you say I'm anxious, that's looked down on. You say I'm stressed, oh, that's the achiever's anxiety, you know. But they are slightly different in that stress tends to be around a specific thing. So for example, you have a deadline at work, you're highly stressed, but once that deadline's gone, the stress disappears. But if you have anxiety, once that stressful thing has gone, you're still in that heightened awareness. You're still looking for something to be alert to. And so those are the main key differences. And so in the book, I tend to use the term fear or phobia, but if you find using anxiety or maybe even stress is a better way to frame your fear, then just use that word in your head instead.